Hi guys, it's Monday, Martin Luther King Day. I think it's like the 21st or 22nd of January. It's really cold outside and today we've done a whole lot of nothing. I just got out of the shower. I got on my Hogwarts alumni shirt that I bought at Wally World, Walmart that is. That clicky sound is my vent up there. We got to get that fixed. But basically, it's a be in the house day. I'm going to get some cleaning done. I've been doing laundry this morning, chopping up some vegetables for omelets this week, kind of doing a little preparing. Eric had to take apart the kids' Xbox controllers because the buttons were sticking. And we wanted to see if we could fix it before we actually have to buy a new one. And yeah, it's kind of how the day's been going. So let's just keep trucking along and see what we get done. So, it's cold outside. It's really an unmotivating day. It's a holiday, so Eric's home from work. We don't do school with the kids today. And I can't find anything to vlog about. And I don't feel like pulling out the camera every time I clean something or do something. So, what to put in today's video? Here's what I'm going to do, because I want to try better at getting videos out. I'm so horrible at it. But I had this list of resolutions that I wanted to bring into 2019. I was so excited to start the new year off and do some changes. And, well, of course, it started off with I get a phone call. December, we had spent Christmas, or not Christmas, we had spent the week after Christmas in Ohio with my family and visiting my oldest daughter Cassandra. My other daughter Taylor came down too. She lives in Detroit and she came down to Ohio as well. So we were there, my sister and my sister's kids, and we all got together and then we all went home. And I no more than got home that day on December 31st. And we weren't here, I don't know, a couple of hours. And I get the phone call. Lori, Cassie's turned. We think, my mom was like, thinking that she's entering the active stage of death, which she's been in hospice care for years and years. Basically, since we knew, when we knew she was diagnosed with Huntington's and we had put her in a nursing home care, we had put her in hospice. Just because it's additional care you get. So she had been in hospice for years, and you have 10 years to prepare. I've had 10 years to prepare myself for the fact that one day she was going to die, and more than likely she was going to die before me. I didn't know what, how it was going to happen, but anyways, I get to call from my mom, and she's like telling me this, and she's like, I'll call you back, because the hospice people have to come and they have to officially declare whether or not she's in the active stage of dying. So around that night, shortly after the new year has rung in, hospice came in. They had declared that she was in the active stage. And, the start of this process. And the next morning we drove back to Ohio. It's about a 6.5-7 hour drive. So we turned around and we headed back. So I spent January 1st down there, and I was there. Cassandra died January 12th, and then I returned home on the 14th. So needless to say, the last week or two of dying through the active death process is, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm still not ready to discuss what it was like. It was horrible. It was horrible. I will say this: in this country, your pet gets a better death than people do. When you are dying and there is nothing that can be done to change it, in this country, you have to die, you have to keep going until you literally just die. And you don't do that to your dog, you don't do that to your cat, we don't do that to horses, but we do it to people, and there should be a more humane way about it. But other than that, we're just going to stop, and I'm going to talk about those resolutions that I wanted to kick into. And it's one of the things I had been working on for about 3 weeks. I had quit Vlogmas, and I had started working on simplifying my home. And not that we're going to be a minimalist family or anything like that, but I had started decluttering. And when I say declutter, I mean heavy, heavy, heavy decluttering. I went through my closet. I got rid of 75% of the clothes that I owned. I got rid of 75% of my Christmas decorations. I've been to decorations that I just no longer feel a connection for. I've just everything that I can, I'm touching. I still have a long way to go, but back in my minivan, I have a Chrysler minivan. I had put all the seats down, and I had filled that thing full 3 times to make donations, on top of the fact that I had been selling lots and lots of stuff on, you know, like things that the kids had that had some value. I was selling that as well, you know, getting rid of books. I had taken books to there's a place here in Naperville called Half Price Bookstore, and they bought books from me, and I made, you know, $60 on some books that I had around, and all these things I had got rid of. So one of my goals for this year was to get the house totally into this decluttered state and get to the things we only have. Now, we're not going to live minimalistically, and I'm not going to not have things. My house is 4,300 square feet with the basement we are refinishing. 4,300 square feet. That's a lot of space. And I'm going to have furniture. I'm going to have things. You just can't have 4,300 square feet of nothingness. Now, 4,300 square foot home is not typically something that I would really want in life. But when we moved to Illinois, we realized we needed to be sure we had bought a house that we could sell quickly, because Eric works in this corporate world where we could get moved around a lot, and we know the benefits of buying a home that's newer, that sits in really good neighborhoods, the best schools. We knew that those were things we were looking for. Plus, there was like this list of things we had to have. We had to have 4 bedrooms. We had to have 3-car garage. Those were things that were necessary for us, because we wanted each child to have their own room and to have a lot of garage space. Because one of the things that my husband thoroughly enjoys is automobiles, and he needs a place to keep those and keep all those things associated with automobiles. But anyways, and then we had got this awesome deal on this house. It was, I mean, I bought it for $100,000 less than any of my neighbors were spending on these houses. This was a foreclosure. It needed some cosmetic work, but we're quite capable of doing cosmetic work on a home. We had remodeled a house back in Michigan, but it doesn't need a lot of like cosmetic work, just a little bit of things that we could do, and then we can turn around and make it our own. So anyways, that's why we have this big house, because we just walked into a deal that couldn't be passed up. And it feels like a good investment for us to invest our money into this. And, you know, down the road we could sell it and make some money off it. We bought this house when the markets were still down. So, you know, our home has a lot more value now in the 4 years we've been here than from 4 years ago when we bought it. So we feel very good with owning this house, although it is a very large home. But anyways, I'm all over the place, and minimalization. So that one of my goals was to minimize what we own and be more simple, not have, you know, we want to have less but not have nothing. I don't want to go to a totally minimalistic lifestyle. Number 2, I wanted to cut my spending. And not that I've never had to like budget anything, and I still don't really need to budget. I just want to have, we put a lot of money away. We have a lot of savings. We're a debt-free family outside of our mortgage. But I wanted to save even more, because I want to do more. You know, we went to Disney over the last 2 years. We've been to Disney over 60 days, and 60 days of Disney in 2 years is a lot of money. And that includes Universal and flights and rental cars. And so there's that. And then there's other vacations I want to start taking as well. So I wanted to figure out a way to spend less money and have more money for those fun things. So one of the things I was planning on working on this year is curbing my consumable spending, whether it be food, cleaning supplies, just those anything and everything you're buying all the time to live. So it was one of the things I was working on. So that is going to be a future target as well. And the third was to get into better shape. Not worried about the number on the scale. I'm more worried about how I feel. So whether I lose 0 pounds, 10 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever, I want to put a goal of just feeling better, having more energy. So those 3 things were the 3 main things that I wanted to concentrate on and correcting this year, and then also incorporating more stuff into my kids' education. I'm a homeschooling mother, and we have a, I'm not gonna say we have a lax schooling situation. I'm just not too worried about, I'm not worried about what they're doing in public school. My kids learn all the subjects that they're learning, but I'm not worried about that structure of a public school structure. I'm kind of interested in just making sure my kids are introduced to so many things so they can figure out exactly what they like. So that was something else I wanted to work on this year. But that's where the channel is going to be concentrating on moving forward. I know I was really heavy on hauls, and you're probably going to see the hauls back way off. I haven't been buying that much. Even when I go and buy groceries, it's just a little amount. I'm kind of up in the throwing question marks up on whether or not I'm going to keep my Costco membership, because I'm kind of like torn. I'm like, do I really need this? I really don't want to fill my pantry with food. I just want this bare minimum in there that we need, and nothing goes to waste. And so that's what I'm going to be working on, and that's what I'm going to be doing and vlogging about. We are definitely moving away from hauls. I will continue Stitch Fix for a little bit longer. I may go to just every 3 months. I got a Stitch Fix here I gotta do a video on, which I think I'm returning everything but 1 item. And I have 2 more FabFit and Fun boxes that are coming because I prepaid for the subscription service. So when those are done, I'm done with that. I have some more Disney pin boxes coming. I think they stop. My last one will be, I believe, in April. I'm not going to renew that. And even when we go to Disney, we're gonna kind of, we're not gonna do many souvenirs. We probably will do pins because we enjoy pins. And if we enjoy it, I feel like we should, you know, we don't have to go overboard. You know, we will have years and years and years and years of going to Disney. So we don't need to like buy 50 pens every time we go, you know, 2 or 3 a piece will be plenty. But yeah, it's kind of where it's headed. So I'm going to wrap this video up here because I got Chatty, and it's telling me up there that it says 11 minutes and 20 seconds, which is a really long time to be chatty, and people probably don't like to listen to me that long. But that's where it's going. And once again, I will have a video up about Cassandra. She's just going to take some time putting together. It's going to be a big thing I have to do. I got a lot of editing, a lot of scanning to do, a lot of gathering of video. And I will talk about, like I said, those things. I said that in a future or a previous video, so that is still coming, but it will be well out because I have a lot of work, and when I work on it, I cry and I have to break. So you do what you got to do to move on. So I will see everybody real soon. Hopefully we get back into vlogging again tomorrow, and